So yeah, rather than sitting outside and with a shaky camera and everything, I thought I'd just sit in here with my notes and do it this way because I just feel more comfortable speaking this way. And there's a lot of heat on me right now as well. Funnily enough, I was hearing, and anyone who's familiar with SRA kind of abuse would totally get me when I say hypnotists are definitely on their payroll. So yeah, they've been trying that a few times. They try and make me sleepy. It's really funny. For me, it's just a voice in the background telling me to do something. It means nothing to me. So I don't really think how these people think they have any kind of power, unless you give it to them. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about this resort type facility that I was taken to in 2017. So I was released from hospital after 2 weeks. I'm probably going to do another video and go into what happened at the hospital without elaborating on too much horrific detail because I don't know that that's necessary. But so after 2 weeks, I was released. Obviously, went back to the family home with Jet's father and was still under surveillance. So this doesn't end, right? They're just looking for an opening to do what they need to do. And after 2 weeks of trying to, take me out in hospital, and I'll talk about that in maybe the next video, that just wasn't happening. And these people spend a lot of money and a lot of resources to do this kind of thing, and dragging this out has really burned them. So with this resort, Jet's father says he's taking me on holiday, the three of us, and we take off. And keep in mind at this stage I am pretty severely traumatized. Maybe half in my body, I guess, just kind of going along, knowing that any day now it's going to happen. Me, my son are both at risk, so that's looming on you. You're not yourself at all. So anyway, we're driving off to this resort type facility. He tells me, what clothes to pack, as long as I took something rugged, sort of thing. And I wasn't too sure in it. That was supposed to be a surprise. Turns out that was horse riding, and very, very strange day that was. The three of us go up to a country property, horse stables, and we all mount a horse and go on a little bit of a trek through like a country trail. My horse was pretty volatile, I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't really know what was going on there. Oh gosh, I can't even remember his name, but it was something really full on, like, I might try and remove you a bit more of that and get some more details. Anyway, that's not important. So we do our horse riding day, and bittersweet, obviously. As I'm sort of talking about it, I'm kind of sitting back in that feeling, which is not real pleasant. Then we arrive at our accommodation. So this place is somewhere in the hills. Actually, I shouldn't say in the hills, could be further because it was kind of wine region. We're passing lots of vineyards, things like that. Beautiful resort, I'm not going to lie, like on the top of a cliff sort of thing. Quite large. Strangely enough, didn't see as many people as you would expect in a large resort of that size. So we check in to our room. first thing I want to note is immediately I realised there were two-way mirrors in the bathroom. Sometimes you don't really need to be psychic or have any, any kind of intuition skills to sort of know that. You feel and you hear, and yeah, so immediately I knew who it was watching me on the other side of the mirror. I could hear Paul and Sarah, both of them. So people need to understand that these are two people who appear very young. I'm going to say he would possibly be 36, maybe. Late 30s. Same with her, I think. And they're being protected by some real heavies, okay? People that don't lose, okay? Now, in the bathroom, straight away, I knew, obviously I could hear him. I'm on the other side of the mirror. I'm not going to go into the sick kind of stuff that I heard happening while they were watching me on the behind the two-way mirror, showering and peeing and all the rest of it. We go out for dinner, and the three of us are sitting there. It's really difficult to talk about, right? Because now I am a complete beast, and as I'm like sitting back in that moment, sitting in that restaurant in total trauma and fear, that's not who I am now. And I would have literally torn shit up had I heard, these conversations play out before. But, this is what it is, and these are the processes that you go through when these situations are, on you. So, we're out for dinner. Very, very strange. Like, these don't even feel like real people. They don't even feel like real people. Like, this is a horrible feeling. I don't remember many of the people around me, except for there's an old couple, older, I'll say, sorry, 50s maybe, 50s, yeah, 60s, and they're sitting there having the dinner really quietly, really strangely too. Like, the energy on these people was, it's like they're sitting there eating, but the energy was all on me, all on our table, I should say. And I think I've said before, a lot of the specific pieces of information, I've had to go back into remote view to be like, yeah, that is definitely what I heard, just to get confirmation. I hear this couple discussing us, and I'm just going to come out and say it, like, please know that the last 2 days have been a lot of processing emotional stuff. So I haven't been able to shoot anything because I've sort of been in tears and just processing a lot of emotional stuff, and connecting to the quantum field has just brought through a lot of heart stuff for me. So I was doing a lot of love transmissions and things like that, because when you're in this position, this has happened to your child. This is quite possibly happening to children out there. You're a mum. You're not concerned about them anymore. You've come out of that, and you're ready to throw down with your sort of truth. So the reason I've delved really deep into these emotions and just ridden through them and been able to be strong enough to ride through them, okay? There's no looking away from any of this. I wanted to go right through the middle of it, so that I could come out stronger and be able to actually sit here and do this, because no one gets this opportunity, and I'm incredibly grateful to myself, to my soul family, and soul tribe. We all have that kind of connection. I'm not saying anybody's like physically helping me or even helping me or anything like that. I'm just saying, often I give thanks to that connection. And the work I'm doing now is focusing love and healing on all of this, all of it, whether it's the perpetrators, the victims, the entire planet. It's go big or go home. And I know that this makes a difference. I mean, I'm still here after 8 years, and when you hear the story, it's quite shocking to think that that's actually possible. So, back at the resort, I hear this gentleman say, when I say things like this, I will sort of step back a little bit because, as any parent knows, I'm sure there's lots of parents sitting there saying, I couldn't even say these kind of things, and you can't. I was that person that could never even look at these kind of things or talk about them. I would just be like, no, I can't, I don't want to. And unfortunately, this is what happens, and the people who do come out the end of this want to do something about it, whether it's slap this beast in the face that is continuing to fester, and these people continue to get away with this. This continues to be covered up. So I hear this gentleman say, I've already put in a bid for this kid. The waitress was very strange to me, and there were little symbolisms, do you know what I mean, on the table, like a steak with a knife sticking out of it, things like that, just little things. I walk out of the restaurant and into kind of a corridor off to the side. I think we were looking for an exit. So we're walking down this little corridor, and a woman kind of just steps out from around a corner, and we almost have a head-on sort of thing. Like as I'm approaching the corner, she just kind of bounces out from the corner, and we were that close to bumping into each other that I think we touched hands and sort of said, oh, sorry, love, and straight away, the second that we touched hands, her eyes just nearly popped out of her head. She obviously read me immediately. I got confirmation that she was a psychic, that she was sort of planted there to find out a little bit more. So that was one night. When we were in the hotel room, there was a balcony. Obviously, I'm a smoker, so I came out and I'm sort of standing there in the dark, and really, really strange. Like when you step out onto the balcony and you look right and left, there's balconies right on either side. Never saw another person around us, not even in that entire wing of the resort, but felt them. You know what I mean? Like felt them in the rooms on either side of us. Curtains were drawn, so when I come out onto the balcony, the curtains were all drawn. At night, coming out onto the balcony, when it was all dark, I was targeted by, I don't even know how to put it, I'm going to say shooters, whether they're snipers or whatever. This is not something that's unusual for me. There's been multiple times when I've faced that. And I do have high level protection, and I'm not saying at a 3D level, okay, I'm doing some serious work here, and for one reason or another, this needs to come out. This is an event that needs to happen, and I'm going to continue. I am going to continue, and I'm going to represent not only for Jet, my son, but for Leanne as well, who didn't deserve this and went through all of this and has stood by her son. And I'm not going to let her be disgraced by this either. So yeah, being targeted out on the balcony. I even saw drones at one point. So I mean, this is what these people work with. We're talking high-tech kind of stuff. Next day, we're going to the pool. While we're in the pool area, obviously my son was swimming. I was not so much swimming, I was sitting on the edge with him. Mass amount of focus on us. I was actually too kind of traumatized at the time to notice people around. You're not even there yet, do you know what I mean? I could feel there was the dining room that we're in was probably up at the two-story second level, overlooking the pool. And strangely enough, a giant chessboard with two giant chess pieces that you kind of pick up, with your whole body and move around, like that size chessboard. So, all these things that just kind of like are just so obvious, you know what I mean? I have no idea where this place is. I could, search around on Google Maps for hours looking for something similar. And see if I can locate it in that way, but I haven't done that yet. I'm trying to work on different parts of information, and I'm still currently working on Northfield, which is a hotspot right now. And I have uncovered a lot of extra pieces there. I do believe that entire neighbourhood is run by a pedophile ring. And I'm going to be bringing out a few videos, or as quick as I can actually, for that as well. So the next event at this resort is nighttime. We're back in the room, and this is weird, really weird. I really don't know how to reference this, to be honest. Really strange. Being that none of my videos are for kids, and anyone who's watching is just like up for any of the details that I'm talking about. I don't want to feel like I have to, tread on eggshells or censor myself, because that's going to sort of stop the flow for me. So we're in the room, and me and my husband, at the time, we were trying to make things mend again. And I'm not even kidding. What it sounded like to me was an entire conference kind of setting with many people watching us on a big screen. When I say that, the reason I knew we were being watched is every movement or everything I said or did was being confirmed and talked about and noticed. So I knew we were being watched. And for anyone who hasn't seen my other videos, or maybe I haven't elaborated on this yet, but Paul was obsessed with me and my son as well, and he did stalk us, and there was a couple, actually 2 occasions where the police had to remove him. So this is a very sick individual, very disturbed person, and I think she is actually the same in that way. So and I do believe that her father is connected and he's the one driving this and protecting them. And I have no idea who that is, whether we're talking about emergency services workers, you know what I'm saying there, or or crime gangs. No idea, actually, but I do know that she called on her father to take care of this matter because Paul obviously was obsessed, and I'm not going to go into the sick kind of stuff that happened there because it's too feral for this. It's way too feral. Like, but yeah, I'm probably going to leave it there. I was just trying to get my voice warmed up so I can shoot a couple more videos, and